Hello everyone, this is Shadow Dragon from the DCUO community, and today I'm going to be going over the results of the Valentine's Day event, because it was just taken down today. And what I'm going to do is unbox a few more of those shards, because in my last video I was supposed to open up 20 of them, but I missed one by mistake, so the calculations were based on 19. So just to even that out, I'll be unboxing 21 of them just to make it a sample set of 40, and then I'll have the calculations of each drop type. After that, I won't be doing the calculations in the video because that's going to take too long, and I just want to make sure I carefully sort it out and look at the replay. So I will be putting that as an annotation. So just as a warning, those don't show up on mobile devices for YouTube videos, so be sure you're watching it on YouTube to get the full experience here. So aside from the shards, I'm also going to be talking about how much I played the event and what I got in the end out of all of the possible drops. Okay, so I guess I'll go ahead and start with the crystal shard unboxing. So what I did was I removed all of the drop types from my inventory so that there are no like chocolates, gray loot, or bombs or collections. So that way you can either pause the video and also so I can kind of look at the replay and kind of count everything accurately. Okay, so just to be clear, if you have this Zamoran crystal, each day, event or not, each day, if you interact with it, you will get one shard. And in that one shard, you will get 2 drops. And each of those drops has a chance of giving you a collection, junk loot, consumable, and the Valentine's Day bomb. I believe it's those 4 items. So each shard will give you 2 items. It might be 2 gray loots, so you could go a day with no collection. If you get really lucky, you can get 2 collections, and if you look at the replay of my previous video, I think there was at least one time where one of them yielded 2. So I'll try to go a little bit slowly so that you can actually see them come out. And I'll make sure I open all 21 this time. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21. Now you have to be careful with these icons because the blue collections almost look like the gray on some screens. If they stack, they're definitely gray. So the ones with the numbers are gray because the real collections won't stack. So I got 3 out of the 21. I think in my other video the percentage was higher, so this was an unlucky lot. Okay, so I'll do the calculations for this later, and it'll be posted as an annotation probably around this time in the video. Let's see, what else? Oh, as you can see, I'm also on like a tune that I don't use that much, um, and you sort of have to be mindful about what tune you're opening these on as well. If you have a lot of alts and they're opening like their own crystals, the crystals are tradable. So what I did was I stacked them up in the shared inventory and I opened them on one tune. Now the tune you open them on does make a difference, because out of all these loot types, everything is tradable except for the consumables. So they will be stuck on the tune you open them on. So what I did was, this is just a tune that recently reached 30, and I don't really know how to use the power that well. It's nature. So he does need a little bit more help than, some of my higher tunes. So it's definitely more useful for him to have the consumables than some of the other tunes. So definitely keep that in mind if you have a lot of alts. Okay, so now the event itself. It ran for the entire month, I believe. So 28 days, maybe it was a day or two late. I don't quite remember. Now, from last year, on most of my tunes, I already had over 50 of the hearts saved up. So I probably had 8 or so of these right off the bat. Like, that was the first thing I bought, because I knew it was going to drop a collection every day. And I just wanted to see how I did, or how many tunes I would get close to finishing that collection. And ultimately, it is worth money. Like, even if you're not gonna complete the collection on a bunch of tunes, the collection pieces were worth a lot of money during the event. And I'll go ahead and check out the prices now as well. Why don't we do that? But yeah, during the event, especially at the beginning, some of them went for like over 1 million. And when you break down the percentages, they ended up not being super rare. Like when you look at the overall picture of the 4 weeks, the entire month. And you could also tell by the broker prices, because by the last week, they range from 200 to 400K. They're probably lower right now. Alright, so let's take a look at the ones that I just got. Come on. Okay, so we have it from 200 as the lowest, and it goes up to 300. And that was just some random green Eurocatch. And this is a blue that should be more rare, but I'm finding that the blues and greens are somewhat equal. And you see, based on the broker, this one's actually lower. So I don't know what they were doing with the blues and greens, but they don't reflect frequency as much. But also the new way that they're setting up the collections, they're not going to make any of these super rare, because you have to pay so much for the last one in the vendor. Like that costed 100 hearts. Let's take a look at the other green. Now this one jumped a lot. You got 300, and all of a sudden the next one is 700. So I would say this one is probably rare in the overall community, what the overall community experienced. And yeah, those were the only 3 I got. Let's look at the price of the shard as well. It's not going to show up. I forgot what that's called. It's going to be some items mixed in. Alright, here we go. Zamron Love Shard. Yeah, that's pretty consistent with the past few days. 90k up. So if you have a bunch of shards, it's somewhat of a gamble. If you plan on either selling them or opening them and selling them. Because let's say you open 10 shards. If you sold those, that would have added up to about 1 million. If you figure they're 100k each. Now, if you open them up, you could end up getting no collections, and then you would have wasted like 1 million basically. But if you got like 2 collections out of that, you still would have lost money, because that probably would have been 400k. At this point in time, it's probably better to sell the shards separately, because the guaranteed 1 million is better than, the chance of getting 1 million. Because out of 10, you're probably not going to get 4 collections. So at this point in time, you probably want to sell the shards separately if you want to make money off this stuff. Now, predicting the future is a bit hard, because we haven't had a product like this before, except possibly the anniversary event. Now, it's the thing is, like, if you have the love crystal, you can keep on getting these. So there are going to be people who keep on opening the shards. So that says that the price will probably drop. However, there are going to be players that come in who don't have the crystal. So that kind of goes against it. That adds to them becoming more rare. And the other factor is, like, even if you kept opening up shards, or you kept buying them, you're only going to be 11 out of 12 out of the collection until next year, because you have to buy the last piece, and the last piece is not tradable, so you couldn't have purchased that and put it on the broker. So that kind of says that the value will go down if people are looking to complete the collection, and it's something that can't be done until the Valentine's vendor goes back up. So again, it's pretty hard to predict. So we'll have to kind of feel it out. Like, it could go up or down. It's pretty hard to tell. If you look at the anniversary collection, I wouldn't say it jumped too much yet. And that's both the anniversary antics and the blue aura one. Because I do have a couple of extra pieces of that, so I'm periodically checking, and the price didn't jump like too much. Because I think people are thinking, if they can't complete the collection, might as well wait till next year anyway. There's no sense being 1 away from it and not being able to complete it, because that's pretty much equivalent to being like 5 away from it. Okay, so let's see. Let's check out the feats. Because there were quite a bit of components to this event. Where would they be? Would they be at the bottom? Okay, so it's in chronological. Okay, so we had to buy 5 styles from the vendor. Now, those were expensive. The styles are 15 hearts each. And I did end up buying them on my main, Alyssa, so she got all of those. I also have another premium account, so I had to buy them all on one character there. And I think those were the only 2 characters I bought this on. The rest may have bought 1 or 2 of these pieces, like, just because I thought they looked cool. And then I just unlocked the feat with replays on pretty much everyone else. Now, for the furniture, it was 7 base items, and each base item was 6, so this wasn't too bad. On my premium account, I just got it for one character, unlocked it on the other 2. And on my main account, I probably finished this on 3 or 4 characters because I actually wanted the items, and then I unlocked it on the rest. Because the Valentine's Day items are pretty targeted. Like, they don't match too many bases. Like, unless you happen to be building a base that's pink, or a section that's that's inspired by the Star Sapphires, it's not going to match most bases. So it's worth noting on my premium account that I didn't buy that on the same character that I bought the styles. I bought it on a different character and then passed it over to the character that bought the styles. That way, I'm saving the hearts up. Love Bomb was an old feat. I think those were the only two that you had to. The only 2 feats that you had to buy stuff for. Because every year there's like a style feat and a furniture feat. The collections yielded the aura, which you had to buy the last piece for 100 hearts. So on that one, I just completed the 12 of 12 on my main on the legendary account, and then one character on the premium account. And as far as the collections went, I probably got close to finishing it on 4 others, and that means either probably 9 to 11 out of the 12. So if I really wanted to, I could have gotten the aura on multiple tunes, but that 100 hearts was just too much, so I wasn't going to do it. And I'm kind of banking on the feat, the style unlocks that they talked about. Again, we don't know the details, but I'm willing to take the gamble and not spend 100 hearts on multiple tunes. What else? I think that's pretty much it. That, as far as items in the event, oh right, the trinkets. Okay, so there were two new trinkets this year, and they cost 50 hearts a piece. So that was again pretty expensive. For most tunes, for most of my higher tunes, I bought one or the other. Like on my tanks, I got the one that had the 5% health because I thought that was more important. And like for their DPS stance, because I typically do like a mixed build, I stuck with the old trinket, the Ghost, because that gave a might buff plus a shield, which is kind of both roles. The new DPS heart is pure DPS because it gives a might buff to you, and then it does like a debuff to the enemy. So that's definitely valuable for a pure DPS. There was one tune, not my main because I bought the aura on her, so I spent 100 hearts already. But on a tune that I didn't do that, I bought two. I bought both trinkets on my sorcery DPS because that's a tune where I have like a pure support and a pure DPS build. But yeah, all other tunes took one or the other. And as far as drops, there was nothing new from the event. Like they still had the aura from last year. And I think I had it on every tune that ran the event, pretty much. So if you figure the event is 28 days, maybe round up to 25 for the easier math. And that dropped, if you say it drops once or twice, that's going to come in at 4 to 8%. So it's not too bad. Like if you ran the event and you didn't miss a day, you will probably have that aura. But if not, you can just buy it from the marketplace. And again, it's just something that I'm collecting just to collect, not something I use on too many armories, because again, it's very targeted. It's a pink aura, so not going to match too many styles, but just something fun to have. So I think that covers all the items. So I'll definitely get the calculations in, and it'll be a combined calculation. So it'll take the 19 from my previous video combined with 21 from this video for a sample of 40, just to get drop rate for the shards. But anyway, that's how I did in this event. Oh, I should mention that I ran 18 tunes, or at least I tried to. So it's roughly 18 a day, but not through everything. I ran the 18 definitely through the outside and the race. As far as the inside event, it was most level 30s and some of the level 20s that I was comfortable with. I would say I probably ran that an average of 8 times a day. But that gives you an idea, and like, because I ran so many, it should make the percentages like pretty close to what the actual number is. But again, things could be streaky, so you might experience something different even if you ran it the same way I did. Okay, that's all I had for the Valentine's Day event, and I hope you had good luck with your items. Thanks for watching.